I know what that means. Merlin trial. Revelio.
Those goblins in my family were in mines at one time or other.
Accio. Confringo. Ranrock has fooled you all. To your demise. Revelio. Confringo. Revelio. Accio. Revelio. Confringo. These Merlin trials won't get the best of me. Revelio. Revelio.
Why am I always on patrol?
Confringo. Levioso. Accio. Confringo.
Dead. Someone's here. Huh? Oh.
Levioso. Accio. Confringo. Confringo.
Up for a bit of dying, are we?
Hello? Over here.
Accio. Confringo. Levioso. Levioso. Accio. Confringo. Confringo. Revelio. Accio. Revelio.
Revelio. Accio.
Wonder if I'm safe to explore in there. I know a Merlin trial when I see one.
Accio. Lumos.
Enjoy suffering, do you?
Abandoned long ago, no doubt.
Time to teach someone a lesson!
No more happy days for you.
Lumos.
An intruder! Up for a bit of dying, are we?
I was only following orders. Leave your accusations in someone else's direction if you don't mind.
Revelio. Revelio.
I should investigate.
Enjoy suffering, do you? An intruder! Patrolling this area is a waste of my time.
Lumos.
That's that. Settled.
Protego. Lumos.
Looks rather dark in there. Never stopped me before.
You're here. Good.
Oh, nice to see you here. Ah, isn't the sea air refreshing?
Sebastian, that relic you mentioned.
Don't think I've forgotten about your goblin friend. I haven't. But I needed to tell you what I've learned. I believe one of Slytherin's students stumbled upon the relic during an assignment to study sarcophagi in this catacomb. From what I read in a report by the student, they weren't permitted to take it with them, so I must assume it's still here. As I mentioned earlier, this relic grants its holder the power to reverse dark magic curses. If it's in this catacomb, I have to find it. For Anne. I need to see her.
I'd be interested to know what else the student discovered.
Have a look. Unfortunately, there's no name on it, but I suspect if it was important enough for Slytherin to stash in his spellbook, it's worthy of further study.
I'm ready to explore the catacomb. Perhaps we can visit Anne when we've finished.
Perfect. By the way, Ominous has been asking about you. You didn't tell him what we were doing, did you?
I didn't. I promise.
Good. Ominous would be livid if he knew what we were about to do. I'll be interested to compare what lies inside to what I've read about this catacomb. I'm sure that foul smell is the scent of success.
Lumos.
Try not to lose your nerve just yet.
Revelio. Confringo.
At least now we know we're not alone in here.
Perhaps that was it. And the rest of the
Accio.
tomb will be insect-free.
Yeah, spiders aren't insects.
Don't start. We're here for a reason. I'd say opening them all is justified.
Wingardium Leviosa.
This room is taller than it looks.
Incendio. Levioso. Arresto Momentum.
Finding a chest in an inconspicuous loft. Brilliant.
Compulso. Accio. Confringo. Protego. Accio. Depulso.
Watch your step. I nearly slipped there.
Confringo. Accio. Confringo. Protego. Stupidon.
All this grass. It no longer feels like a tomb. I've read about catacombs that
Revelio.
underwent expansion efforts and ran into problems. Often cave-ins.
And then we're abandoned.
Exactly. We'll be fine, though.
Defendo. Incendio.
Now this is the sort of great room I want to be buried in.
Surrounded by grandeur.
Then some. Even an altar with a pile of bones. Lovely.
Bones outside a sarcophagus. Seems odd. There's something here by the altar.
What did you find?
Looks like part of a student's diary. It mentions plans to return for the relic and conjuring barricades using bones.
Of course. The student's summary referenced the space beyond the Great Room, which means this can't be a dead end. Let's divide and conquer. You work on sorting out the bone barricades, I'll look around and see what we missed. Hold on to that diary entry. There may be more to it.
It does mention something else. It says their next assignment was learning the Imperius Curse.
Really? Interesting. We need to focus on moving beyond this room. But let me think for a moment.
Do you think the pages were left here on purpose?
Slytherin mentioned a student who excelled in charms and always carried a satchel stuffed full of notes. They might have been left on purpose, or the student may have simply dropped them.
Of course. I'll start to search for those barricades.
Brilliant. There's more to this than even I imagined. Look, bones stacked oddly on either side of this archway.
Leave no stone unturned. Or in this case, no bone.
If this archway's been barricaded, we can find a way through.
Levioso! Accio! Wingardium Leviosa! Depulso!
Lumos! We're in a tomb. I assume eerie sounds come with the territory.
Accio! Confringo! Levioso! Confringo! Accio! Wingardium Leviosa! Accio! Wingardium Leviosa!
You've done it! I knew we'd get through. I felt it in my bones.
Nice.
Before we trudge on further, I've just realized something. The student's diary mentions the Imperious Curse. I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to need it here. It's an unforgivable, but useful when you're outnumbered. Places the victim completely under the caster's control. So, if you'd like to learn Imperio, I can teach you.
Where did you learn the Imperious Curse?
I taught myself. Don't tell Ominous that I've told you. It's not exactly something I can brag about, but it may come in handy. I think you ought to know it.
Shouldn't I know more about what the curse entails?
Remember the blasting curse? Same idea, except when it comes to unforgivable curses, your intention has to be clear. You have to mean it.
It's probably wise to know the spell.
I couldn't agree more. A spell that could save your life shouldn't be unforgivable. You have a lot at stake. You have an ability that evidently no one's seen for centuries. Focus your wand movement. It's not an easy spell to master. There we go. Something troubling ahead. Be on your guard.
Findo. Levioso. Imperio. Confringo. Confringo. Incendio.
Another barricade. Considering how well you did on the last one, this should be a cinch.
How gracious of you.
Accio! I try.
Wingardium Leviosa.
This looks different than what we faced before. Now we're also dealing with
Accio.
reason.
Wingardium Leviosa. Accio.
That worked. Keep going.
Accio. Incendio. Fuego. Stupid. Defender. Confringo. Stupid. Imperial. Confringo. Confringo. Levioso. Sendo. Fringo. Confringo. Serio. Potato. Confringo. Sendo. Fringo.
Never knew spiders could make such a mess.
Bit dramatic, isn't it?
Lumos.
Lumos.
Defender. Incendio. Flipendo. Accio. Glacius. Depulso.
This catacomb has suffered decay, just as the student's summary described.
I doubt anyone's been here in quite some time.
Incendio. Accio. Arresto momentum. Compulso. Accio. Arresto momentum.
Appears some of these stone tablets have 2 rune symbols. That has to mean something.
Depulso. Accio. Depulso. Accio. Leviosa. Accio. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Accio.
You are head and shoulders above these bones. Nicely done. I see why Slytherin's student was so entranced with this place.
Leviosa. Confringo. Leviosa. Confringo. Confringo.
For a moment there, I thought that'd never end.
dead end. Lovely. All that for nothing.
Hold on. Don't give up yet. Sebastian! The relic! Look!
Could it be?
Accio! Revelio! The note and rendition of the relic. It matches. This must be where the student left the relic.
I can't believe it. After all this, it lines up. We've really found it.
What do you suppose is meant by the dark sacrifice required to realize the relic's potential?
I have no idea. But we're here for the relic.
The note advises to leave the relic alone.
I assure you, we were meant to find this. For Anne's sake. I'm taking it. Let's get to Feldcroft. I must keep this relic secret. Especially from my uncle. Ominous. Ominous. The sounds we kept hearing. It was you.
You gave me no choice. I had to follow you. Sebastian, please, leave the relic alone. We can find another way to help Anne.
I'm sorry, Ominous, but I'm taking it.
No, you're not. If you won't put it back, then I will.
Hold on, both of you. Sebastian, please, take a step back.
Fine. But Ominous knows. I won't step back from a fight.
Can't believe this.
How much did you hear?
Everything. I was glad to hear you tell Sebastian to leave the relic. We need to stand together. Convince Sebastian this is wrong.
And if nothing will change his mind?
Something has to. I need your help.
You're right. This seems far riskier than Sebastian realizes.
Good. We're agreed. We don't allow him to leave here with the relic.
I do think we should talk to him, but I fear we won't stop him from taking the relic.
What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting we negotiate. We allow Sebastian to leave with the relic under one condition. After this, no more.
I feel that's what we agreed to in the scriptorium. I'm being taken for a fool.
You're not, Ominous. This may be the only way to keep your friendship intact. Let's trust him to know what's best.
Fine. If I trust him on this, I'm trusting you too. The dark arts seem harmless until it's too late. Go then. Leave with the relic. I'll not say a word more. I hope I don't regret this.
Sebastian, we're ready.
What is it? I haven't changed my mind.
Ominous has. Let's go.
What? Ominous?
Revelio. I'll explain on the way. Come on.
Bombarda.
Well, what happened back there?
Ominous and I found a compromise.
Ominous simply needs a moment with you and he'll change his mind. Is that it?
I told him we ought to give you this chance. That the relic is too important to ignore.
There has to be more to it than that. Tell me.
We agreed on what was needed, Sebastian. You have my word.
I never wanted to keep all this from Ominous.
Descender!
Doesn't understand.
Accio!
And I didn't want to worry him all over again. As we were leaving, Ominous wouldn't even acknowledge me. That's not like him.
He was troubled, Sebastian. Even though we agreed to it all, it's been a lot to take in.
I thought he understood. He knew we couldn't give up. All of this is too important. For Anne.
Spanners are important, though, aren't they? Even in a fight.
When we get to Feldcroft, I'd rather Anne not know what had to be done to get this relic. She thinks like Ominous. It'd only upset her. Oh no, this isn't good.
What is it?
Smoke, over there, by the hamlet. Feldcroft's in trouble. They're under attack.
Let's hurry.
You won't stop me.
Is that the best you can do?
Confringo! Levioso! Accio!
An utterly pitiful
for display.
Your spells glance off of them.
Confringo! Confringo!
I'm a goblin, not a toy!
Not quite. Oh,
Resto momentum. Confringo! Repulso!
Fight about what?
Confringo! Arresto momentum.
Expulsion!
Repulso!
Stay back! Keep out the way!
Repulso!
Keep out of sight! I won't!
Confringo! Arresto momentum. Repulso!
Got him! I'll get you for this!
Defendo!
You'll not win here.
Sebastian, be careful. Mine.
Let me also!
They'll retreat. We'll make them.
Boy! What have you done?
Saved my sister.
With an unforgivable curse. From that damned book, no doubt. Your father would be ashamed. You've gone too far, Sebastian. Stay away from her. From all of us.
What did my uncle expect me to do? The Imperious curse saved Anne's life. That goblin was going to kill her.
There was little time to react, but it was an unforgivable curse.
I acted in the moment. That's all. I shall make my uncle see reason. He cannot banish me from my own home, from my sister.
It might be best to let him calm down a while. May I speak to him? Perhaps I can help to ease the tension a bit.
You may be right. Very well. Probably best if I get away from here for a while. I'll head back to Hogwarts. Aloha, Mora. Revelio.
Revelio. Revelio. Depulso. Revelio. Pardon me, Mr. Sallow.
What Sebastian did was inexcusable. You cannot possibly be about to defend him.
Sebastian and I have encountered Ranrock's loyalists before. That goblin would have killed Anne.
This family does not resort to using dark magic even against our enemies. What Sebastian did cannot be undone. That you are defending Sebastian's behavior at all tells me everything I need to know. You are as guilty as he is. Sebastian is to come nowhere near Feldcroft, nowhere near Anne. Unforgivable curses are so named for a reason. If I hear that either of you continues down this path, if either of you uses dark magic, I will notify the headmaster immediately. Why, Sebastian?
No! I will make you pay.
Oh, here's a pleasant surprise.
He has a special knack. It's tormenting Professor Black.
Revelio. Revelio.
You can't imagine how inconvenient.
Revelio.
Watch out! It's the troll slayer upon you.
My fizzing whiz beer is still brewing. These things take time.
brilliant work beating everyone at cross wands.
Did you speak with my uncle?
I wish I had better news about your uncle and Anne.
Well, what did he say?
I'm afraid he wants you nowhere near Feldcroft. Nor Anne.
I had to stop that goblin from killing my sister. He had no right to banish me from my own twin. If he thinks banishing me means I'm going to give up on Anne, he's sorely mistaken.
He also said he cannot excuse the use of dark magic in any form, and that if he hears of either of us using it, he'll go straight to Professor Black.
Huh. That relic, dark magic or not, is the key to saving Anne. To reverse that curse. I will not lose Anne for good. I should send the crest to Anne. She'll know that we need to meet.
I'm afraid I don't follow.
Nothing, just a thought. Now I'm more determined than ever to learn what power that relic has.
What did you mean you'd send Anne a crest so that she'd know to meet you?
We just lost our parents, and we were packing up to go and live with Solomon. We couldn't take everything. She was carefully organizing her prized possessions, a box of artifacts she'd collected to do with our family. Jewelry, cards, old photographs. She got to her favorite, a handmade crest, and without a second thought she handed it to me. "This will keep you safe," she said. "It holds no enchantment, but I've kept it with me since. That's how I can reach Anne. I'll get the crest to her with plans to meet."
Be careful, Sebastian. Your uncle could intercept it. We'll be expelled.
Even if Ominous is upset with us, he has no love lost for his family. He'd use their connections to the headmaster if we needed his help.
I shall wait to hear from you then.
Thank you. I very much appreciate you standing by me through all of this. I'll send you an owl when I have news.
The sheer nerve taking them down.
Pardon me, is everything all right?
No, it's not. We only had 2 bells to go, but she just had to go and spoil things.
I'm afraid I don't follow. Who spoiled things? Also, what bells?
Professor Black ordered Mr. Moon to take down the bells in the bell tower. Said they were giving him a headache. Those bells are a part of Hogwarts. I wasn't about to let that happen. So, I asked my friend Adelaide to help me put them back. We've always been a duo of sorts, Adelaide and Evangeline. Addie and Evie. Anyway, it was going swimmingly until Black started asking questions. Then she wasn't comfortable with our rule breaking. Now I'm stuck, unable to tell which bell goes where.
Is it really that important that the bells go back up?
Is it really that important? They're part of the school's history. Those bells likely told a young Merlin that he was running late to Charms, or called Ignatia Wildsmith to dinner. We can't simply fiddle with history. We're meant to be its stewards.
It's certainly an odd decree, even for Black, taking down the bells for a headache.
I agree. I thought it might also have been that they interrupted his hourly naps. That's all he does in his office, you know. But then I heard... Can you keep a secret?
I can.
I heard from Alice, who heard from Ollie, who heard from Eugenia, that it's because the bells reminded him of his wedding day. Breaks out in a sweat every hour on the hour, but mum's the word.
If only 2 bells are left, isn't it fairly easy to tell which goes where?
Easy for you, perhaps. I happen to be tone deaf. Mother likes to say I couldn't carry a tune if it hopped on my back like a chocolate frog. No point putting them back in if they don't sound just as they did before, for the sake of historical accuracy.
Perhaps I could help put the bells back up.
Really? Oh, that would be wonderful. The bells are in the bell tower just above the music room. You're certainly of more help than Adelaide.
I imagine the bells are just inside in the bell tower.
Off on another adventure, are we?
So frustrating. You wanted to speak with me, Mother?
I had hoped to speak with you alone, Natsai.
Your message mentioned your concern about an unusual creature that was spotted in the woods near Hogsmeade. That could have been anything.
You know what it was, Natsai.
I am allowed to leave the castle. I am always careful, Mother.
Careful? Officer Singer disagrees. She sent me an owl telling me that you have been trying to collect evidence of some kind against dark wizards. She berated me for not keeping a closer eye on you. And she is right. I do not want you visiting Hogsmeade for the near future.
But Mother!
My little gazelle, you are well-intentioned, but you must not meddle in the affairs of dangerous people.
If someone had meddled in Matabeleland, Father would still be with us.
I must get to class. Perhaps your friend can get you to listen to reason.
So frustrating. She never listens to me.
She called you her little gazelle. Is that a term of endearment where you're from?
It is specific to me. I am the unusual creature in Hogsmeade she mentioned. Self-transfiguration is not taught at Hogwarts, so I am gently discouraged from practicing it. However, I am an animagus, and it is in my gazelle form that I have been able to wander the Highlands rather freely until now. much to my mother's chagrin. That is how I managed to spy on Rookwood and Harlow.
Were you born an animagus, or did you learn to become one?
Animagi are not born. The process is quite elaborate. It involves holding a mandrake leaf in one's mouth for an entire month, then placing the leaf in a crystal phial so that it is imbued with moonlight, then adding one of your own hairs. And that is just the beginning. Self-transfiguration is common among students at Wagadu, but Professor Weasley considers it much too dangerous to teach at Hogwarts.
Can you choose what form your animagus will take?
Oh no, a person's animagus form is determined by their personality. My mother is convinced that my form is a gazelle because I adapt well to any situation. I believe it is because I can sense danger and keep my wits about me.
How does it feel to transform into an animal?
Well, the first time it can be a bit unnerving. I felt a kind of searing pain and a strong double heartbeat. But it gets easier the more you do it. I no longer feel any pain, and I must say, I find a sense of comfort in the double heartbeat. And I love being able to view the world from a different perspective.
Now the nickname makes sense. What an extraordinary ability to have.
It is. I love transforming, but Mother is less enthusiastic about it. She says that no creature, especially one as rare as a gazelle, should be bounding about where poaching has become so prevalent. She claims that she has foreseen tragedy befall me in my gazelle form. But she has used her sight to control me too many times. I no longer believe it.
She's concerned for your safety. It may be best for you to stay away from Hogsmeade for now.
That may be safe, but I do not believe that it would be best. Do you? You could have fled the moment you discovered that Rookwood, Harlow, and Ranrock were after you, but you did not. I choose to act as you have. I must deal with Rookwood and Harlow, not hide from them. My mother cannot know where I am all the time. Thank you for being here during that rather awkward conversation.
Professor, could you tell me how you and Natty ended up at Hogwarts?
I can. That is an easy question. We are here because of Professor Weasley.
You knew Professor Weasley when you were in Uganda?
I knew of Professor Weasley. As you may or may not be aware, Professor Weasley's work once took her around the globe. Without providing detail that is not mine to share, I can say that she was well known in our wizarding community for, well, sharing magical knowledge between countries.
Professor Weasley seems quite knowledgeable, so I'm not surprised to hear she'd do that sort of thing.
Indeed. Although I suspect there is much about each of your professors that would surprise and impress you. Such exchanges of information, ministry sanctioned or not, have occurred for centuries. It was an African sorcerer, in fact, who shared the unlocking charm with a certain wizard from London. A thief, rather unfortunately.
I see.
But, back to your original question. Professor Weasley had heard of my work and life in Matabeleland, and my time teaching at Wagadu. She was deputy headmistress at Hogwarts by then, and when the position of divination professor became available, she contacted me. Her timing was perfect. I'd just foreseen a change in Nat's size and my circumstances and knew that we needed to leave Uganda. Natsai was as ready as I was for a new adventure. So, off we went.
Natty has spoken of your move. She was quite kind to me my first day here, in Charms.
That sounds like Natsai. I'm glad she has found a friend in you. Now, I must return to my work. As I've told Natsai, do be careful. I had a vision earlier this year of her with a friend, flying on winged beasts. Perhaps unsurprisingly, she will neither confirm nor deny my visions, unless it suits her.
Revelio.
Mine now, Demi, guys.
That relic is the key to saving Anne. I know it. Meet me outside of Feldcroft as soon as you can.
Aloha Mora. Revelio.
We should speak with Mr.
Levioso.
If I can sneak away without drawing my mother's eye. Meet me near Hogsmeade, and we will devise a plan.
Accio. Revelio.
One up, one to go.
Revelio. Revelio.
Ah, the bells must be upstairs.
Revelio.
Defendo! Confringo!
Revelio.
Lumos.
Revelio.
One up, one to go.
Revelio.
Found them. I'll have to get those up there somehow. Wingardium Leviosa, perhaps?
Accio. Wingardium Leviosa.
Well, that wasn't too hard. Evangeline should be pleased about this, even if Black isn't.
Revelio. Revelio.
The bells are back up, Evangeline.
Ah, you're a credit to the school. I can't wait to hear them. I can't wait for the headmaster to hear them. I wish I could see his face. Future generations may not truly appreciate what you've done, but I do. And I hope that you do as well. You don't know how much this means, for me and for Hogwarts.
Revelio. Revelio.
Stone hearts with joy will be the face of
Revelio.
A lost relic from a catacomb which requires a dark sacrifice.
I know how it sounds, but if this can help you, it's worth the risk.
Does Ominous know about this?
He helped find the scriptorium where we discovered Slytherin's spellbook.
Very well. If Ominous will be there, I'll meet you. We don't have much time. Solomon wants to leave Beldcroft.
What? Leave? Never mind. You need to stall him. Buy us time, Anne. Please.
I shall do my best. I'll be in touch.
Solomon can't take Anne from Feldcroft. Where would they go? When would I see her?
Sebastian.
I can't believe my uncle wants to leave Feldcroft. Anne's going to stall him. She must. We need time.
Time? For what?
I've learned more about the relic. I cross-referenced Slytherin's spellbook with everything in the library on relics and dark sacrifices. That's when I realized something. I believe the relic will only work inside the catacomb.
So we have to get Anne to the catacomb and then conduct a sacrifice. Seems risky.
It'll be worth the risk. Our biggest hurdle may be convincing Ominous. And we'll only give this a chance if he's on board.
And we have to keep all of this from your uncle. If he goes to the headmaster, he could be expelled.
Let me handle Ominous this time. As for my uncle, he's not an Auror anymore. What he doesn't know, well, won't hurt us.
Do you think your uncle would tell anyone at the Ministry about all of this if he found out?
If he found out, I doubt he'd go to the Ministry. He didn't part ways with them well, from what I understand. He won't say, but I believe his strong aversion to dark magic has something to do with his time there. Anne thinks he once decided to fight fire with fire, so to speak, and resorted to using an unforgivable curse in a fight against dark wizards. At least that's what she thought she heard. When he realized what his job had led him to become, he left rather abruptly. So, I'm not sure he'd go to the Ministry to report on his own family using dark magic now.
Good luck with Ominous. Until we meet again.
I shall let you know when the four of us should meet at the catacomb. Look for my owl. See you soon.
Revelio.
Mine now, demi-guys.
Are you ready to put an end to Harlow?
I'm ready to do what's needed to take Harlow down. I know you have a plan.
We must gather information from the friends of Mr. Bickle that Archie and Mrs. Bickle mentioned. Agabus Filbert, Otto Dibble, and Mr. and Mrs. Rabe.
All right.
I suggest that you speak with each of them while I head to the Hogshead. I saw some Ashwinders heading there. And as my mother would never go near the Hogshead, she is less likely to learn of my activities than if I were to wander the village questioning its residents.
Where am I to find these friends of his?
I do not know about Mr. Rabe, but his wife, Daisy, is often in Hogsmeade, as is Agabus Filbert. And Otto Dibble He works at Gladrags, so you will likely find him there.
What sort of information am I trying to gather from these people?
They may know what evidence Mr. Bickle had against Harlow, or they may have evidence of their own. We simply need to know whatever they know.
Very well. I'll speak with them, see what I can learn.
I knew I could rely on you. We need to know how they are being blackmailed by Rookwood and Harlow. Meet me here after you have spoken with them. Hopefully, by the time you return, I will be able to move a bit more freely.
Revelio.
There's no denying.
What a failure is a good thing. Builds character.
Mrs. Rabe should be nearby.
Oh, Isco, what have I done?
Mrs. Rabe, I wondered if I might speak with you about Theophilus Harlow. I'm a friend of the Bickles and am trying to gather evidence against him.
Poor Joanna and little Archie. And now Harlow has taken my darling Isco.
What do you mean? Why?
I'm a security guard at Gringotts, and my husband is a curse breaker for them. Harlow approached me about helping him extort my colleagues into giving him treasures from the vaults.
And you declined?
Of course I declined. Repeatedly. I thought they'd given up, until I came home one night and found my husband gone, and a note affixed to my door with a knife. The note stated that I only had a few days to reconsider helping with some banking needs, and that my husband would appreciate it if I acted quickly. But the help Harlow wants is help that I cannot give, and my dearest Isco is paying the price.
Why wouldn't Harlow extort your husband?
Isco's job is even more removed from the vaults than mine. He travels the world for the bank. He could do nothing for Harlow. I'm the one in the bank on a daily basis, which evidently makes me an enticing target for blackmail.
Have you helped Harlow since your husband was taken?
No, I'm worried sick about Isco, but he'd never want me to compromise my integrity. I also know that he's extremely clever. That said, I was hoping he would have escaped by now. It makes me concerned as to why he hasn't.
Are you sure the note means that your husband was kidnapped?
What else could it possibly mean? Besides, I came home to find that someone had trampled the daisies in our garden. It may sound silly, but those were Isco's pride and joy. He would never have let that happen.
Thank you, Mrs. Rabe. Knowing the lengths that Harlow will go to is helpful, albeit more than disturbing.
Mr. Bickle was trying to help us, but now he's gone. I don't know what to do.
I shall do all I can to get evidence against Harlow, Mrs. Rabe.
Very well. Here's the note I received. You must be careful as well. Please don't put yourself in danger.
Some evidence worth hanging on to.
Thank you. I hope it's not too late.
Now, to find Mr. Bickle's other two friends.
Aloha, Mora. Lumos. Revelio.
Otto Dibble works at Gladrags. I should check there.
Please tell me you didn't take it, but perhaps it's been here all along.
Mr. Dibble, may I speak with you? It's about Theophilus Harlow.
I've nothing to say about him. May I interest you in a stunning cravat today?
Please, sir, I'd like to help. I spoke to Mrs. Bickle.
You know the Bickles? All right, but we must be discreet. Can't have Mr. Hill hearing this.
I know Mr. Hill. He was kind to me the day of the troll attack.
Oh, he's a good man, but even he wouldn't understand about Harlow. It started a few weeks ago. I was distracted, reading a note, when you-know-who came into the shop. I hid the note behind the counter and offered to help him. He stared at me for a moment, then asked me to check on an order he'd placed. I went into the storeroom to check on what turned out to be a non-existent order. When I returned, he was holding the note.
What was in the note?
It was a note from Rosie Hill, Mr. Hill's daughter. You see, we've been, well, secretly engaged these past 6 months. We haven't told Mr. Hill yet. I dare say he has higher hopes for her. Harlow advised me in no uncertain terms that my relationship with Rosie, not to mention my employment here, depended upon my cooperation.
What does he ask you to do?
It all happened so quickly. In an instant,
He took a very expensive scarf from the counter, pocketed it, and smiled. He said, "Your secret is safe as long as I can supply my lady friend with delightful items like this every so often." I've been able to cover for his requests until now with some creative bookkeeping, but I can't keep it up for much longer. I'm terrified to say anything. I could never live without Rosie.
Could you give me a bit more detail about the note? That might help me to identify it should I come across it.
It's on Rosie's special pink stationery. It has her monogram at the top, RH. That's how Mr. Hill would know it was real.
What have you been doing to keep the extortion a secret?
Well, as I mentioned, creative bookkeeping. And I've also been trying to cover the costs with my own savings, but I'm running out of money. Of course, none of this bodes well for my efforts to improve my circumstances and be worthy of Rosie.
I met Mr. Hill the day of the troll attack. He was kind to me. Why don't you just tell him?
He's a lovely man. But when it comes to Rosie, I fear he loses all perspective. He'd see this as a grave betrayal. I'd lose my job instantly, and Rosie as well.
Thank you for telling me. I'm gathering evidence to take Harlow down.
I would love nothing more than to see him rotting in Azkaban, but be careful. He's an awful man and incredibly dangerous. As for Rosie's letter, should you happen upon it, I have committed it to memory. You may destroy it immediately.
Understood.
Now hurry off before Mr. Hill returns. Where was I?
We're on the right track. Now to find the last of Mr. Bickle's friends.
Revelio.
Agabus Filbert must be around here somewhere.
Revelio.
Hello there.
Excuse me, Mr. Filbert. I wondered if I might speak with you about your dealings with Theophilus Harlow. I hope to ease Mrs. Bickle's mind by gathering evidence against him.
Oh, tragic what happened to Bickle. He wanted me to speak out against Harlow for an act of violence committed against me. But I feared Harlow's retaliation, and so I refused.
If you had spoken out against him as Mr. Bickle asked, perhaps Harlow would be locked away by now.
Perhaps. But perhaps I would have suffered a similar fate.
You said that Harlow committed an act of violence against you. Could you tell me what happened?
Before my extraordinary wife, Dulcibella, passed away, she had just completed a small book of poetry. As a surprise for her birthday, one she never had the chance to celebrate, I had the book beautifully bound and plated in gold. One day, Harlow came calling to punish me for having spoken out against the Neanderthals that comprise Rookwood's lot. Before I knew it, I'd been petrified, and Harlow was rifling through my home. He found the book of poetry, with its exquisite gold plating. I watched helplessly, lying there in my entranceway as he walked away with the book, laughing as he went. I was shaken to my core. Still am, to be honest.
I imagine you fear Harlow retaliating again, but do you mind if I share this information with Officer Singer?
I suppose I have no choice. This extortion can't go on forever. You can pass it on to anyone who may be willing to help. Harlow does not like people talking, as you already know.
I've spoken with Mr. Bickle's friend. Now to find Natty. It's not like Natty to be late. She said she was going to the Hog's Head. Perhaps I'll find her there.
Hellcell.
Natty must be around here somewhere.
Revelio.
Natty's wand. She can cast without it. She wanted me to find this. She's in trouble. Revelio will show me where she was taken.
Nosy little students get what's coming to them.
Revelio.
Natty must have been taken this way. I need to find her quick. The footprints led to this room. There must be another way forward.
Accio. Accio.
The hidden door. Natty must have been taken this way. I need to find her quickly. I'd better be sure I'm not seen.
It's not for the world. Using that girl as bait, that one's coming for her. We ought to just kill her. Only a Hogwarts student would be arrogant enough to come in here alone.
Lumos.
It's about time Rookwood took control. He doesn't need Ranrock.
Revelio.
Rookwood will lead us to victory. You mark my words.
What?
Confringo! Imperio!
Reducto!
Leviosa!
How embarrassing!
Defendo! Confringo!
Aha! Back for more. Knew you would still.
Leviosa!
You're easy.
You're a Confringo! Confringo!
What are your thoughts on
Imperial! Confringo! Leviosa! Defendo!
Look what you've done! You're You won't escape again!
Confringo! Confendo! Leviosa! Protego!
And you!
Flash! Incendio! Imperio! Confringo! Defendo!
Expulso! You've made a grave mistake. Expulso!
Now you've done it.
Confringo!
Expulso!
Confringo! Imperio!
Thought you could hide expulso!
Defendo!
Expulso!
Confringo!
How dare you do such a thing to me?
Confringo! Defendo!
Might want to look up.
Levio!
This is not going well for you.
Expulso!
Incendio! Defendo! Confringo! Leviosa!
You will not survive this.
Confringo! Defendo! Revelio! Revelio. Accio. Revelio.
Otto Dibble's love letter from Rosie. He wanted me to destroy this if I found it.
Revelio. Revelio. Depulso. Revelio.
The book of poems that was taken from Agabus Filbert. He'll be thrilled to have this back.
Revelio. Revelio.
He must be here somewhere. Mr. Rabe, Daisy told me you'd been abducted.
You spoke with my wife. How is she?
Worried about you. Are you all right?
I am all right. Thank you for coming. These locks are cursed, and there's an anti-apparition jinx on the cells. Even Natty's skill with wandless magic cannot free us. I need you to find my wand.
Use mine. We'll find yours together once you're out of there.
I need my wand for this. Using one with which I have no connection may not work as well or as quickly, and we cannot risk detection.
I shall do my best. Any idea where it might be?
It's nearby. I can sense it.
Understood. I'll find it.
Your friend Natty was not in the cell.
Lumos.
Revelio.
Mr. Rabe's wand could be in there. Mr. Rabe's wand. He'll be glad to have this back. Mr. Rabe, I found your wand.
Well done. I knew it was nearby. Now, you best stand back. One never knows how a curse will react to being broken.
Thank you, Mr. Isco.
My pleasure. And thank you, my friend. We owe our lives to your bravery. I may be too weak to disapparate with you both, but I can try.
You go ahead. Find Officer Singer. We will get out of here on our own.
Very well. But be careful. Thank you, my young friends.
Be prepared for a fight. These Ashwinders must pay.
Revelio.
Lumos.
Let's find Officer Singer and put an end to Harlow once and for all.
Natsai Onai. I should have known. And you, the troll dispatcher. Oh, thank goodness the two of you are safe. Isco Rabe told me a couple of students had rescued him. Should have known it was you two.
Is Mr. Rabe all right?
He is. I sent him home to his wife. Miss Onai, your mother will not be pleased to learn that you're still risking your safety pursuing these dangerous men.
Actually, Officer Singer, Natty and I learned of several Hogsmeade residents who've had their lives threatened by the Ashwinders. In addition to abducting Mr. Rabe to blackmail his wife and Natty, Rookwood and Harlow have also extorted Agabus Filbert and Otto Dibble.
I will look into all of that. As for the two of you, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but you are taking great risk. Next time, please let the authorities handle the Ashwinders.
Yes, officer. Do you have enough evidence to take down Harlow and the rest of Rookwood's lot?
Well, it's certainly a good start. We shall see. But you can leave this to me now. Natsai, you may wish to speak with your mother about this before I do.
My mother will not like this. Thank you again for rescuing me. We shall speak soon.
Ashwinders have ceased pestering me. I suspect that's your doing. Thank you from me and Rosie both. We're just leaving for our honeymoon, after we tell Mr. Hill of our recent marriage. Wish me luck.
Mine now, Demi, guys.
Hengist of Woodcroft.
The tales of people. I believe so.
I'm sure you had your reasons, but breaking into Alfred Lawley's home wasn't the brightest idea.
Is everything all right?
Oh, bless you. Oh, thank you for asking. I'm Betty. Betty Bugbrook. And no, everything is not all right. It's my dear friend Hazel. Oh, she's in trouble.
Hazel?
Yes. Oh, she's a unicorn. Known her for years. She doesn't like to leave the forest, so I visit her once a week to brush out her mane and bring her some treats. Her coat is glorious. Well, the last time I saw her, we were violently attacked by a pack of wolves. Hazel, loyal friend that she is, leapt in front to protect me, and in the process, I fear she may have been injured.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I want to help her, but she seems to have gone into hiding. Out of fear, I'd imagine. I know you Hogwarts students learn a fair bit about caring for beasts. Perhaps you could find my unicorn friend and get her somewhere safe so that she can heal.
I'll keep an eye out for your unicorn friend and take her to safety if I see her.
Oh, you've a good soul. I can always tell. Please, don't risk your own safety, though. I don't know precisely where she is, but I can tell you that her den is north of Hogsmeade. And although I haven't been able to brush her lately, I imagine she still has the brightest, most beautiful coat of her entire herd. Remember? Know her by her brilliant coat. Oh, and be warned, she's a stubborn girl. She may need some convincing to come with you.
I need to look for a unicorn with a beautifully bright coat. It sounds as if she's in trouble. Hello, Madam Mason. I understand you have a shop to sell.
Why, yes. Yes, I do. Are you interested?
Perhaps. It depends upon your terms.
I think you will find my terms quite generous. But, and do please forgive me for asking, don't you think you might be a tad young to own a shop?
I have a knack for this sort of thing, if I do say so myself. If I can meet your terms, I hope that you'll sell to me.
Well, I reckon you have the confidence needed for such a venture. And of course you'll have Penny to help you. That elf could sell tea to a troll. I assume she told you she comes with the place.
She did indeed.
I like you. Tell you what, I shall sell you the space for an exceedingly fair price. I think you might just be shrewd enough to make a go of it.
An exceedingly fair price for a shop and an elf. What's the catch?
Ah, you are wise to be wary in business dealings. No catch, really. I simply ask that you allow me to do you the favour of buying the shop back, at a discount, of course, should your efforts fail. The last thing we need here in Hogsmeade is for one bad apple to spoil the barrel, if you get my meaning.
Yes. An unsuccessful shop would be bad for nearby businesses, I'd imagine.
Quick one, you are. Do we have a deal?
It does sound intriguing, but I need to consider my finances first. I'll come and find you if I'm interested.
Very well, but I won't be able to keep the shop available for too long. If you do want the shop, I'd advise you to return to me as soon as possible.
Aloha, Mora. Revelio. Revelio. Madam Mason, about the shop.
Yes?
I've decided I'd like to go ahead and purchase the shop.
I have to say I'm impressed. You are a remarkably resourceful student.
I am indeed.
And brave. You won't be sorry. Give me the money, and I shall get the paperwork filed immediately.
Wonderful. Shall I head directly to the shop?
Please do. Oh, one more thing. Since my husband died, I've not been able to bring myself to retrieve some of his personal items. They're in a chest at the back of the shop. Penny has the key. As you get organised, I would be terribly grateful if you could help an old widow and gather his things for me before you open for business. I wish you the very best of luck in your endeavours. Penny will meet you there.
Revelio.
You are the talk of the school since you saved Mr. Rabe and I from the Ashwinders. We have come so far. We should discuss the next steps in our plan to stop Harlow.
Revelio. Lumos. Revelio. I need to look for a unicorn with a beautifully bright coat. It sounds as if she's in trouble. Well, I've done it, Penny. The shop is mine.
Oh, Penny is so pleased. Penny was hoping you would be the one to purchase it.
I'm glad you're here to help me.
Goodness, what a kind thing to say. Penny will do all that she can to make this a success. There is much to do. The last tenant left in a bit of a rush, so we'll need to clean up and do some repairs.
Well then, let's get to it.
Penny is ready. Between the two of us, we should have this place up and running in no time.
Reparo.
Oh, Penny can already see the potential. Nothing like a bit of hard work. Mistress Mason wanted Penny to be sure and give you this key. It opens a chest in the back room of this shop.
Oh yes, she mentioned it to me. It contains some of her late husband's belongings.
Penny wonders if you should open the chest.
Are you holding your breath again?
Penny must get back to work now.
Lumos. Revelio. Glacius. Confringo! That's odd. Why would someone store one hat in here? that's not very hospitable.
Oh, goody! Someone to play with. You seem to have your wits about you. What fun this will be.
For me, at least.
Lumos.
That's new. Onwards, I suppose.
What in the... Who's there? Confringo! Lumos. Bats. Lovely. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa.
Seems as if I should hang something there. These lanterns must belong somewhere.
Accio. Wingardium Leviosa.
Perhaps the lanterns are meant to be hung on the hands.
How enlightening! You might survive a bit longer than the others.
Lumos.
Oh, you've come so far, so quickly. Well done. You might be just the playmate I've been looking for. I do hope you enjoy my playground. I encourage you to tell everyone about it. If you make it out, that is. Please try. If you get to the end, perhaps we can come to some sort of arrangement. I do want your shop to succeed, after all. What's the saying? 2 sides to every story. Unfortunately for you, both sides here into my story. And you'll have to complete both to get to the end.
Lumos.
Ah, you've chosen the scholarly route. You'll need more than you've learned from books to best me.
Lumos.
Oh, deja vu. What's your...
Revelio. Lumos. Lumos. Revelio. Lumos. Depulso.
Running in circles, are we? Perhaps you should retrace your steps.
Incendio. Lumos. What was that? Leviosa.
Lumos.
Accio.
Lumos.
Accio.
Lumos.
Oh, how nice of him to pop in.
Confringo. Protego. Confringo. Stupid. Protego. Stupid. Stupid. Confringo. Stupid one. Confringo. Protego. Stupid one. Stupid one. Confringo.
Lumos.
Confringo.
Lumos. Lumos.
Protego.
Lumos.
Stupid one.
Lumos.
Home sweet home.
Accio. Wingardium Leviosa.
Lumos.
It's always good to have a different perspective on things.
Accio. Wingardium Leviosa.
So much fun to be had. My head is spinning.
Lumos. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Lumos. Perhaps I should pull the lantern into this room to cause the room to rotate again. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa.
All books and notes
Accio.
make one
Wingardium Leviosa.
I'll give you a moment to collect yourself, if you can. Ta-ta for now! I simply adore this blooming place. Don't you? You know, foliage, like most living things, won't survive for long